Racial disparity in academic achievement remains one of the leading problems in American education, both at the K through 12 and the college level. A number of studies show greater diversity in the teaching profession can address some of those concerns. Hari Srinivasan has a look at a teacher training program that's aiming to increase diversity in the classroom and improve results all the way through college. It's the latest story in our special series on rethinking college and part of our regular education segment, Making the Grade.
Actually, class, are we subtracting time or adding time? Adding time. We're adding time.
Francisco Martinez will earn his teaching certificate this month, but the 26-year-old teacher-to-be wants to be more to his students.
My goal is to be a good role model.
Martinez, who was born in the U.S. to immigrant parents, says that his own teachers in school were overwhelmingly white. He hopes his background will resonate with elementary school students in Fresno, California, where the district's enrollment is 67% Hispanic.
I feel like I can relate a lot to the students. Some of the experiences they're going through, I've seen myself, and I guess in a sense I can kind of provide another ear or another person to rely on.
Martinez may be right.
I'm going to keep my welcome short because
Cassandra Herring heads an alliance that helps prepare teachers for diverse student classrooms.
We know from research that having a teacher of color actually can move student achievement. It actually can help keep kids in school and persist to college.
According to the National Center for Education Statistics, more than half of all public school students are either racial or ethnic minorities, and that number is only rising. At the same time, 80% of their teachers are white. Experts in higher education are trying to fix that gap.
We need to make sure that every single Ed Prep program is training every single teacher candidate to bring about student achievement gains for all learners.
While minority students have made gains in recent years, an achievement gap still exists between the races. According to the U.S. Department of Education, in some grades, the gap in reading and math achievement between whites and their Hispanic and black classmates remains in the double digits.
I'm so excited that we are here today for the spring convening.
Herring's alliance, called Branch Ed, launched a new initiative with colleges across the country to improve teacher preparation programs.
When we go into our classrooms, capture what you see and hear teachers saying and doing.
This month, the alliance met in Fresno at Vang Pao Elementary School to observe student-teacher candidates from California State University, Fresno, including Francisco Martinez's class.
How many of us thought that was false? Raise your hand.
Observers used a rubric to assess the role of diversity in teaching and learning.
By looking through the lens of that tool, it gives educators, these faculty, the opportunity to reflect back on what they're doing on their own campuses.
When we come back from our observations, we want to process the information and then go deeper with it.
One observation came from Nikesha Williams, an assistant professor from North Carolina A&T State University.
There was one black female student in the classroom. She did not participate in sharing out. I didn't hear that girl's voice in the classroom holistically at all.
There's research that supports this marginalization of black females, particularly as it relates to math. And it struck me that as a teacher, you think about how can you be more inclusive? How can you dispel myths? How can you support this disproportionate representation?
Does teaching need to change as our demographics and as our country changes?
I think it does. I think the race-blind, color-blind, language-blind, culture-blind educational system of the past is failing us. It's obsolete. Because our classrooms are becoming so diverse, to not equip teachers to know how to really leverage that diversity in a positive way to move forward student achievement is only going to increase the achievement gap.
A shift toward what's called culturally responsive teaching, or cultural proficiency, is gaining traction among educators.
What are our attributes that we're measuring?
An attribute is
To better serve students of color, teachers create conversation about inequities and cultural relevance.
The time she got on what?
On the bus.
On the bus. Everybody say on the bus.
On the bus.
Francisco Martinez uses Spanish references in his lesson plans.
For example, there was one math lesson I led once. We were working with distances. So I said, so-and-so wants to go get an horchata beverage. how long does so-and-so have to walk to get that beverage before I could finish the sentence. So many kids were saying, oh, I've had horchata, horchata is great.
While California State University at Fresno has been successful at recruiting many minority teacher candidates, enrolling African American males is still a challenge.
Let's see hands, let's see hands. Eric, what's different about it?
We do need to improve on how we recruit African American males. I think nationwide that should be at the forefront of the discussion. Most of our students naturally blend into...
Laura Alamillo is the Dean of the School of Education at the university.
And so the work we do in the Kremen School is to make sure that all of our educators come out fully prepared to work.
She recently visited local black churches to try and attract more African Americans toward a teaching career.
I think it's time to reach out to this particular community to see if maybe I could spark some interest. It's not only the presence of a teacher of color, it's the lens, it's the mindset of coming with these, just really valuable assets.
What does 1 hour and 30 minutes represent, Leslie?
Ultimately, cultivating great teachers is likely to be the best recruiting tool of all.
Most teachers, if you ask a teacher, why did you become a teacher? Their why is because they had a teacher, one teacher that inspired them, that encouraged them to be the best that they could be and pushed them.
For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Hari Srinivasan in Fresno, California.